Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's continue our lesson. Okay. So last class we already learned about leadership. Okay. What is leadership? Why leadership is needed in the management. Okay. So now we look at why it is needed for leadership in OSHA, or occupational safety and health. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand what is occupational safety and health, or OSH. Okay. So occupational safety and health, OSH, is a cross-disciplinary area concerned with protecting the safety, health, and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. Okay. So occupational health and safety means that we look at the well-being of the employer. The well-being of the employee, the well-being of the staff. Okay. All right. So anything that relates to the safety or to the well-being of the employee, we will categorize it into what we call as occupational health and safety, OSH. Okay. The goal of occupational safety and health program include to foster a safe and healthy work environment. Okay. So this is one of the target for OSH, which is to create a safe and healthy environment for the employee to work on. Okay. Okay. And then OSH may also protect co-workers, family member, employers, customer, and many other who might be affected by workplace environment. Okay. So other than the employee itself, okay, OSH also protects anyone that relates to the workplace. For example, your supplier, okay, maybe your contractor, okay, maybe your family members. Maybe you once in a while you bring your family members to your workplace. Okay, so OSH also will cover them. Okay, so anyone that relates to the workplace will be covered under OSH. Okay. All right. So why safety is so important in workplace? Okay. So why safety is so important in your workplace? Okay. Why? Because there are too many things can happen in your workplace. For example, accident. Okay. Maybe you can trip. Maybe you can fall down. Okay. Maybe you working in a plant. Maybe the machine malfunction. The machine is have problem, okay, and then it will cause other people to maybe trip your fingers on the machine. Okay, so many things can happen. Okay, so many wrong things can happen in the workplace. So that's why it's important to create a safe workplace for your employee. Okay, so type of accident. So there are many type of accident. Okay, so one of the reason safety is important for your workplace is because you want to avoid accident. Okay, so what kind of accident that can happen in workplace? First is fall and crushing. Okay, you can trip and fall. Okay, and then maybe you handle material at the time, the material can fall onto you, so the material will crush you. Okay, so this is one of the accident that always happen in workplace. Okay, and then manual handling. Okay, so because the machine is maybe the automated part of the machine is broken down, then you have to operate the machine manually. Okay, so when you operate machine manually, you will create a hazard. Okay, so maybe you will trip your fingers, or maybe you will electrocuted. Okay, you can get electrified by the machine, and etc. Okay, so there is many things can go wrong when you handle a machine. Okay, and then workplace traffic accident. Okay, so especially when you're working at the plant. Okay, accident can happen, traffic accident can happen. Okay, maybe you drive a forklift. Okay, suddenly people come using a motorbike. Okay, you didn't see the motorbike didn't see you. Okay, then suddenly you crash. Okay, you crash against each other. Okay, so it will create a traffic accident in the workplace. Okay, so this kind of accident is the most the most common accident that can happen in workplace. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's okay. So this is the picture example. Okay. So there are many hazard in the picture. For example, here. Okay. For example, sorry, let me show you. Okay. For example, here you see here there is a heater here. Okay. So heater here is exposed to the environment, so it can maybe it can caught fire. Okay, if something flammable is here, then it can caught fire. Okay, and then here you see water spill out. Okay, and then people are working on towards the water. Okay, you can fall down. Okay, and then you can see here. Okay, so this here the carpet is folded here. Okay, it can trip your foot. Okay, right, and then you can see here on the fire exit, it is blocked by the wheelchair. Okay, so if anything happen, you cannot escape from the building. Okay, so and then there are so many. For example, here the multi plug point here. Okay, and then here there is some uneven bump on the floor and etc. So there are so many hazard in this picture. Okay, and this hazard also will most of the time will appear in your workplace. Okay, for example, let's say if you are working here in this welfare organization, you can see, okay, there are so many hazards that can happen to you. Okay, all right. So here is the some of the history about occupational health and safety. Okay, occupational safety and health agency in Malaysia. Okay, so occupational safety and health started in Malaysia in 1994. The era of occupational safety and health, 1994 onward. Okay, so the law about occupational safety and health was enacted in Malaysia in 1994. Only in 1994, people law about occupational health and safety and health is being held in Malaysia. So FMA 1967 emphasized on safety, while OSHA 1994 emphasized on addressing health hazard in workplace. Okay, so before that we have one law, we call it as FMA 1967. Okay, so this law was enacted in 1967. Okay, so this law only emphasize on the safety issue at the workplace. Okay, but on 1994, when we start to enact another law in Malaysia, we call it as OSHA Act. Okay, in 1994, this one covers together the health hazard. Okay, it's not all, so now we not only the law not only cover about the safety issue in the workplace, it also covers about the health issue in the workplace. Okay, all right. So type of accident happen mostly due to two major causes: unsafe condition at the workplace, unsafe act done by person or group. Okay, all right. So accident can happen due to two main reasons. Okay, there are two main reasons why accident can happen. First is because the condition of the workplace is not safe. Okay, and then the second one is the employer act unsafely in the workplace. Okay, means that you do something not safe. Okay, you as a human being also are the reason why safety issue can arise in the workplace. Okay, so as an employee, okay, so you have to act safely in the workplace. Okay, all right. So in the OSHA law, okay, we have what we call as employer's responsibility. Okay, this one is in the OSHA 1994 law. It is in the part 4, section 15 to 19. Okay, so what is the responsibility of the employer as stated by the law? Okay, first, the employer must provide a workplace free from recognized hazard and comply with OSHA standard. Okay, and then the employer must also provide training required by OSHA standard. Okay, and that if accident happen, the employer must keep record of any injuries or an illness happen due to accident. Okay, and then the employer must provide medical exam when required by OSHA standard and provide workers access to their exposure and medical record. Okay, so these are the responsibility stated by the OSHA law. Okay, and then next is not okay. Alright, sorry guys, sorry. My microphone suddenly died. The battery is flat. Okay, right. So I have to replace with another one. Okay. Alright, so let's continue. Okay. So okay, so another responsibility as stated by the another employer responsibility as stated by OSHA law is not discriminate against worker who exercise their right under Act section under the OSHA Act section 11C. Okay, so if your workers or your employee take action under the OSHA Act, you cannot discriminate the workers. Okay, you cannot take action on them. Okay, because it is your responsibility. Okay, and then you have also, okay, the employer also must provide and pay for PPE. Okay, what is PPE? PPE is personal protective equipment. Okay, so you have to provide PPE to your employee when they are working in the hazardous area. For example, the gas mask, and then maybe coverall, the shirt to cover their bodies. Okay, the whole body suit. Okay, and then maybe glove. Okay, glove. Okay, and then eye protection. Okay, the spectacle to protect their eyes. Okay, so all these are the PPE needed based on the situation of the based on the situation that your employee will face. Okay, so you must provide adequate PPE. Okay, the PPE must be in the good condition. The PPE must be adequate, is enough for everyone to use. Okay, and then must be maintained. Okay, so you must remember, when you provide PPE to your employee, you must ensure that the PPE you provide is a maintained one. Okay, not an old one. All is not an old dusty one. Okay, you must maintain your PPE so that it can work properly. Okay. All right. And then under part 6, section 24 to 27, okay, these are in this part, the law stated the responsibility of the employee. Okay, so previously we talking about responsibility of the employer. Okay, and then under OSHA part, the employee also has responsibility to the, okay, according to the law. So what is the responsibility of the employee under OSHA law? Okay, so the first responsibility is right to hazard exposure and medical record. Okay, right to file a complaint with OSHA. right to participate in OSHA inspection, right to be free from retaliation for exercising safety and health rights, and then you also ada you have your own responsibilities. Okay, so this is the responsibility of the employee or workers under OSHA Act. Okay, all right. So that is about OSHA. That is about Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia. Okay, and then in Malaysia, so under Occupational Safety and Health Act, okay, the government create what we call as Department of Safety and Health. Okay, so this department are the one who exercise the OSHA Act to the to all employers and employees. Okay, so what is Department of Safety and Health? Okay, so Department of Safety and Health is used to enforce and promote work that employers, self-employed person, manufacturers, designers, importers, suppliers, and employees always practice safe and health work culture, and always comply with existing legislation, guideline, and code of practice. Okay, so in the simple term, the Department of Safety and Health, their work is to ensure that everyone follows the law. Okay, they are the one who ensure that everyone follows the law. Okay, if you are not following the law, then they have power to give punishment to anyone who break the law. Okay, because they are the enforcement bodies. Okay, they can they have power to monitor and also give punishment for those who breaks the law. Okay, and then they also promote, okay, they also promote the employers and also employees to always practice safety and healthy work culture. Okay, so they are also the one that promote safety and healthy work culture to being employed in the workplace. Okay, so Department of Safety and Health, okay, they are located under Ministry of Human Resource Malaysia. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is about OSHA and Department of Safety and Health. Okay, so let's we go on to the next one, which is environmental protection. What is environmental protection? Okay, so environmental protection, or EP, is a practice of safeguarding the environment from an individual, group, or organization against any harm or degradation for the benefit and safety of the natural and human environment. Okay, so okay, so previously under OSHA Act, we only care about the safety and the healthy, the health. Okay, we only care about the safety and health of the person, safety and health of the workers only. Okay, but as time goes by, okay, when people realize that we as a human being, we are harming the environment, so we expand, okay, OSHA Act, not only to uh, to to protect the human being, but also protect the environment that we working. Okay, we also, okay, the OSHA Act, okay, they expand it, not only protecting the person who works in the environment. Okay, we also protecting the environment that we work on. Okay, so that whatever work we do in the environment will not harm the environment. Okay, so this is what we call as environmental protection. Okay, so this one is the expansion of occupational health and safety. Okay, so that's why now instead of having occupational safety and health only, so now we expand it into occupational safety, health, and environment. Okay, so instead of OSH, now we have OSHE. Okay, so the protection of the human being and also the environment that we work on, okay, we cluster it together. So now we become one thing, which is OSHE. Okay. All right. So what is the benefit of environmental protection? First is to minimize or avoid, where necessary, damage to the natural and human environment. Okay. Environmental protection helps in reducing poverty. Environmental protection also help in reducing conflict among groups or communities. Okay. And then lastly, environmental protection improve on health and well-being of the people. Okay. So why it is needed to protect our environment? The simple term, again, the simplest way to describe it as the simplest way to describe it is your environment will influence the safety and the healthiness of yourself. Okay. So whatever happen in your environment, it will reflect back to your health and your safety. So that's why we cluster together environmental protection with occupational health and safety. Okay, because the environment itself will influence, okay, how safe and how healthy your workplace are. Okay, the environment itself will influence how safe and how healthy your workplace is. Okay, so that's why we incorporate environmental protection into occupational safety and health. Okay, all right, and then okay, all right, and then next reason, okay, next reason why we need environmental protection. It helps in achieving a sustainable use of resources. Okay, and then environmental protection also help against spread of disease. Okay, and then lastly, environmental protection also improve on overall sanitation of the environment. Okay, so environmental protection is okay. We have a separate body to cover environmental protection. We call it as Environmental Protection Agency. Okay, so Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, is a body that is responsible for safeguarding the environment. Okay, so EPA will carry out the function of environmental protection. Okay, so other than OSHA, okay, so OSHA, because OSHA focus more, okay, sorry, other than Department of Safety and Health. Okay, all right, so that this department, they cover also, okay, they cover a bit about environmental protection, but not much, okay, because their focus is on the safety and health issue of the workers. Okay, so we have another body, we call it as Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. Okay, so EPA is the one who okay, is EPA is the body that it's not governed, but exercise the environmental protection in Malaysia. Okay, so this is the body that protects, okay, they that carry out all the protection needed, okay, all the environmental protection activities needed in Malaysia. Okay, all right. Okay, and then that is about environmental protection. Okay, and then health and safety management. So why we need to manage health and safety? According to International Labour Organization, around the world, millions of men and women work in poor and hazardous conditions. More than 160 million workers fall sick each year due to workplace hazard. Okay, small enterprise account for over 90% of enterprises where conditions were hazardous. Okay, so why we need to manage? So why it is important to care about safety and health of your workers? Okay, because based on the study by International Labour Organization, this one is one of the organization under United Nations. Okay, this one is one of the organization under United Nations. Okay, so they do some study, they do some research, they find out that more than 160 million workers around the world fall sick because their workplace is not safe and healthy. Okay, all right. And then they also find out that small enterprises or small company are the are the are the are the main reason why workers, okay, sorry, small enterprises is the main employer, okay, that these workers are fall sick. Okay, so most of the, okay, 90% of the workers, okay, 90% from the 160 million workers that fall sick around the world, they work in small company. Okay, so it means that most of the small company in the world, they have a bad workplace environment. Okay, their workplace environment is not safe and healthy. Okay, it's not safe and healthy. Okay, so most of the small company in the world, they have a very hazardous work environment. Okay, all right. So the International Labour Organization register complaint against entities that are violating international rule. However, it does not impose sanction on government. Okay, so ILO, okay, so or International Labour Organization, they are the one who impose. They are the one who impose any international laws. Okay, any international law regarding safety and health of the workers, okay, around the world. Okay, but they don't have any power to put action to the government. Okay, they can only collect complaint, they can only discuss the complaint that they get from the anyone. Okay, they only can discuss with the government. They don't have power to give punishment or to give any action to the government. Okay, the government of the country is the one that have power to punish all those small companies and those who violate the international laws regarding safety and health issue in the workplace. Okay, all right. So International Labour Organization maintain and develop a system of international labour standard. Okay, and then another responsibility for International Labour Organization, they create their own standard. They call it as International Labour Standard. Okay, so what is International Labour Standard? Is a set of guideline or rules, okay, that should be followed by all companies in the world. Okay, so all companies should follow the International Labour Standard. Okay, so this is the standard, okay, for all companies around the world. Okay, so International Labour Standard promote opportunity for men and women to obtain decent and productive work in condition, in freedom, equity, security, and dignity. Okay, so the reason why International Labour Standard is set up, because they want to give opportunity to all workers to work in a decent and productive work environment, where they stated four four criteria for the work environment, which is freedom, equity, security, and dignity. Okay, so these are the four criteria for a good workplace. Okay, and then international labor standards are essential component for ensuring that the growth of global economy benefit all. Okay, so role of International Labor Organization. Okay, what is the role of International Labor Organization? Okay, their role is first, full employment and raising standard of living. And then the second one, ensure employment in which employees get satisfaction. And then the third one, training and transfer facilities of labor migration for employment and settlement. The fourth one, policies with wages, hour, and condition of work. And then lastly, life protection and health of workers. Okay. Oh, okay. We have another one. Okay. This number 6, provision of adequate nutrition and housing. Okay. Number 7, effective recognition of the right collective bargaining. And then lastly, assurance of equality of education and vocational opportunity. Okay. All right. So that is the role of International Labour Organization. Okay. And then these are the function of International Labour Organization. Okay, their work is on the migrant workers. Okay, so anyone who migrate, okay, means that they are working outside of their country. Okay, so they have to, okay, the International Labour Organization will be responsible for them. Okay, and then they also will be responsible as the I the ILO also responsible on child workers. Okay, because they don't want the children to be abused by the company. So they ban any child labor. Okay, so they are also responsible on this matter. Okay, and then they also responsible on social security of the employees. Okay, condition of work. Okay, the workplace condition, and then health, safety, and welfare of the employees, and then manpower organization and vocational training. So these are the function or the responsibility of International Labour Organization. Okay, all right. So what are the fundamental principles for International Labour Organization? Okay, so when International Labour Organization started, they already stated several guidelines or several principles that become their foundation. Okay, the first one is labor is not a commodity. It means that employees is not a product. Okay, you cannot sell your employees. Okay, because some people they like to do that. For example, maybe like a slave. Okay, when the employees are being selling around, it is almost like a slave trading. Okay, you trade people for money. Okay, so when ILO started, one of their fundamental principle is you cannot sell people. Okay, they ban any any practice of selling people. Okay, so that's why here their fundamental principle is labor is not a commodity. Okay, so people is not a product. Okay, freedom of expression and association is necessary. Okay, yeah, okay, and then another principle of another basic principle of ILO is they allow for workers to to uh to 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 speak their mind. Okay, you are okay as a workers, you are allowed to speak your mind, and also you are allowed to create an association. Means that you can create your labor association. You are free to do it. Okay, and then the third one, as poverty act as a danger for prosperity. Okay, and then war against one required to be carried on. Workers and employee enjoy equal status in free discussion. Okay, all right. So these are the 4 fundamental principles of International Labour Organization. Okay. The next is hazard are defined as existing or potential condition in workplace that by themselves or interacting with other variables can result in death, injuries, property damage, or other losses. Okay. Right. So how to identify any occupational hazard in the workplace? Okay. So there are 5 type of hazard in the workplace. First is chemical hazard. The second one is physical. Okay. First is chemical hazard. Second one is physical hazard. Okay. The third one is ergonomic hazard. The fourth one is biologic hazard. And then number 5 is psychosocial hazard. Okay. So these are some of the hazard under each category. Okay. For chemical hazard, it can be gases. For example, H2S or hydrogen sulfide. Okay, hydrogen sulfide is a poisonous gas that has no odor. Okay, you cannot smell hydrogen sulfide, but it kills you. Okay? If you inhale hydrogen sulfide, it can affect your lung. Okay, so this is one of the gas hazard. Okay? And then vapors, for example, maybe a mercury vapor. Okay? And then liquid, acid, alkaline, or anything that corrosive. Okay, and then aerosol, for example, dust, fiber, fumes, mist, or fogs. Okay, and then noxious or toxic chemical. Okay, for example, maybe venom. Okay, maybe you are working in the zoo. Okay, you are dealing with poisonous snake. Okay, so their venom is very dangerous. Okay, this is one of the chemical hazard. Okay, and then any corrosive chemical, allergen, irritant, asphyxiant, carcinogen, mutagenic, reproductive toxic, and poison. Okay, so these are all the chemical hazard that can happen in the workplace. Okay, and then next one is physical hazard. Physical hazard including noise. Okay, so noise is a physical what we call it is a physical, it's not action, physical situation. Okay, so any loud noise, okay, any loud noise can irritate you. Okay, and then if the noise is too loud, it can damage your ear. Okay, all right, so this is one of the physical hazard that can happen in the workplace. Okay, and then next is hot or cold temperature. Okay, for for any workplace that is too hot or too cold, okay, it also can create hazard. Okay, and then poor illumination. Okay, maybe your office is a dim. Okay, is very dim. Okay, maybe one of the light is broken down. Okay, so it create a poor illumination condition. Okay, so it's very dangerous because maybe you can trip, maybe you can fall down, maybe you can knock something out. Okay, so poor illumination is one of the physical hazard. Okay, and then radiation and vibration. Okay, right. Okay, so that's all for chapter number 4. Okay.